We all dream of owning the perfect home, but finding a property that suits both your wallet and your way of life isn't easy. Well, I have a solution. Stop searching for something to buy and consider somewhere to build.
Every year, 20,000 people make the journey of a lifetime and opt to build their own home. And we'll be following some of them as they go from foundations to finishing touches.
I was gobsmacked, and I'd never realised that it would be the wow factor that it actually is.
Along the way, our brave self-builders will experience amazing highs.
We just never would have been able to afford to buy what we've built, and that's why we built.
And some frustrating lows.
I've spoken to the council. They can help me pull it down if I have to pull it down. It's as simple as that.
But if they can overcome these trials and tribulations, they'll end up with the home they've always desired.
So if you're looking for your perfect pad, the question is simple. To build or not to build?
Coming up today, the Lakeside Lodge in East Yorkshire that's giving its self-builders a few sleepless nights.
One of the biggest problems with self-build is what it does to your sleep pattern. I am not sleeping at all well.
How building their own home cemented a couple's love.
It was the 1 year I don't think we had a wrong word, did we?
It went very well, yeah, very well.
And my skills fitting plasterboard leave a lot to be desired.
No, I could see straight away you're making a fundamental mistake there.
There's something just mesmerising about a lake in the middle of gorgeous countryside. And when Michelle and Lance Bramley took over the running of this fishing lake near Hull, they fell in love with the place hook, line and sinker and decided they wanted to make it their home. However, realising their self-build in such a beauty spot turned into 10 years of trials and tribulations. But the Bramleys were determined that this dream would not be the one that got away.
For Lance and Michelle, managing the fishing lake means they enjoy a workplace with a view to die for.
Has there been anything on the top today?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But this fishy business is more than just a living for the Bramleys. They've been angling to live by the lake since buying it 10 years ago.
What a spot. Come on, talk us through that.
My ideal vision has always been a house by a lake, surrounded by trees.
So what did you think when you pulled up here?
That was it. Wow.
Michelle, sorry to keep carping on about this. Sorry. But that's where you're going to live.
I haven't stopped smiling. It's just been a dream ever since we bought the place, and hopefully it won't end in a nightmare. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. But Lance and Michelle have already come through one nightmare, planning permission.
What was it like when you heard that the appeal had been successful?
We both cried.
You must have just been...
Well, every time I think about that particular time, what can you say?
Were there times when you thought, oh, do you know what, let's just give up and live in the local village and just work up here?
Yes.
There was, but it didn't last long, did it?
No.
It didn't last long.
No.
A few days later, you'd be down, you'd be sat there and there's birds flying around, you think, sod it, we'll have another go.
I'm not jealous of many people. I think I'm jealous of you two.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, well, look at it. And to realise your life's dream as well. But how long have you had that dream?
Since I was 5. Well, I say 5, I could have even been younger than that. In my head, I've always lived by a lake. Surrounded by trees. Soft sod.
It's no wonder Lance is choked. After that 7-year struggle, lakeside living is about to become reality. The couple bought this 25-acre plot, including the lakes and the fishing business, in 1999 at a cost of £85,000. And their home from heaven isn't costing the earth either. Their build budget is around £170,000. That's an equivalent price to other detached homes in the area. But what Lance and Michelle are getting is their own bespoke dream home, a timber-frame 4-bed dormer bungalow that's tailored to their specific design. The house, which comes as a kit, will sit on top of a steel frame, 1 metre above ground level at the back and 4 metres above water level at the front, basically on stilts. which is all about forward thinking.
In 200 years' time, there's a 1 in 200 chance that it might flood. So that's why I've got to have it high up there.
So hang on, so you are designing and siting a new build possibly with climate change in mind?
Yes, in 200 years' time.
Yes.
For when the North Sea invades the rest of the land around here?
30 centimetres lower. We're knackered.
Well, you're not. Your great grandchildren could be in big trouble
Yes.
here. Well, it looked amazing from the other side of the lake. From here, with the elevation, it looks better.
It's a good view, isn't it?
It's an amazing view.
This side of the front is a patio with a lounge going to the front that side, and on top of that there's another patio, and our bedroom leads out onto that.
So you actually open your curtains in the morning to that?
Yes.
It's lovely, isn't it?
The time frame for the build is an ambitious 8 to 9 months. But before the Bramleys can enjoy their room with a view, Lance has some serious project managing to do.
Is that for budgetary reasons, or just because that's the kind of fella you are? You're like me, you just can't help it.
Budgetary.
Fair enough.
Lance and Michelle have sold their previous home to fund the build, and they'll be renting until they can live by the lake.
Yeah, that might look nice grassed. All that front
All,
piece.
all that slope.
Might be awkward with the lawnmower though. Not apart from pay for it, money's nothing to do with it. It's the lifestyle. It's just living the dream.
Could you have found somewhere already done with this kind of outlook for that money?
Nowhere I know.
No. And you've been looking your whole life.
That's true.
A week after my visit and work's underway, starting with digging the trenches for the electricity cables. To get connected to the grid would usually require digging up the road at significant expense. Fortunately, Lance has found a cheaper shortcut.
Our neighbour has very thoughtfully allowed us to take the electric cable through his field and probably saved us a good few £1,000. And the first of the concrete goes in.
Once the foundations are laid, Lance's main concern is over the steel frame base.
All the concrete's been laid. What we've got to do now is undo these nuts on these bolts, take the template off and then waggle the bolts so when the steel frame is delivered there's a bit of movement to allow for any errors in measurement, hopefully not too much.
As project manager, the buck stops with Lance, and he has been doing all the measuring himself, so any problems and he'll know who to blame.
I've just finished measuring the height of the columns for the steel frame using a laser level and a piece of wood. Hopefully it's right. I've done it 3 times. It's taken me most of the day, so fingers crossed.
Project managers aren't cheap. They typically charge between 7 and 15% of the total build cost. But taking it on yourself can be a huge responsibility, as Lance is finding out.
Well, it's the big day tomorrow. Steelwork's coming. Now things are starting to move a bit. It's starting to think a bit more about, I've got this to organise, I've got that to organise. And getting people to ring you back always seems to be a problem. You've got to be on everybody's backs all the time.
It's a massive day for Lance and Michelle. It all starts here as the steelwork arrives.
The steel's all starting to come in now, and actually seeing it physically there, even though it's not up yet, you just get, there's a bit of a buzz going on. And I think I'm going to need something to calm down later on in the day. When the actual frame's up and you can walk out and feel the actual proper size of the frame and get the viewpoint you're going to get when you actually stood on the balcony, that's what I'm looking forward to. You'll be up 4 metres in the air, further forward and looking right across the lake, we should be able to see just about everything. Whew.
And Lance is still a bit worried that he wasn't on his mettle when measuring.
His stomach's doing butterflies by the dozen, but I'm very confident it's in my measurements that it won't happen. Well, a bit of confidence in him.
The first piece of steel is lowered into place.
First piece of steel going on. Hopefully the rest will progress nice and quickly.
But the beams will be the big test of Lance's calculations.
The main one I'm worried about, it's from this column to that column, with it going down the slope.
Is everything going all right then?
Well, yeah, so far. The columns are all sitting right, it's whether the beams fit in between.
If Lance has got it wrong, his lakeside self-build could have hit choppy waters before it's truly set sail.
It's the retirement dream of millions. Lovely garden, potting shed, and the chance to smell the roses after all those long years of working hard. But in Gisborough, North Yorkshire, one newly retired couple had been nurturing a much grander plan to build their own home.
For Alan and Ann Jackson, the idea of self-building has been germinating throughout their 40 years of marriage. Then, with time on their hands following retirement, it burst into bloom. The result? A stunning 5-bedroom home which they built brick by brick in their old back garden for £190,000.
I've always wanted to do this job, so why not do it now and never get another chance? I was fit and everything was okay.
We talked about it really all our married life, hadn't we? That was the ultimate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The ultimate was going to be build our own house.
Despite having a sizable garden already, they still needed to spend £7,000 on buying a chunk of land next door to create enough space for the build to go ahead.
I wanted a big, lovely red kitchen, and I wanted a lovely big lounge.
A nice big bathroom.
And a lovely big bathroom.
To get all these lovely big things in, the house had to be carefully squeezed in between a mains drain and an area of greenbelt land. But just as they were about to start, a minor planning snag threw their schedule into a spin.
Oh, it was really stressful.
Well, yeah. Yes,
because we had bricklayers organised, hadn't we? And we had to say to the bricklayers, sorry, we can't start. Well, that was their job, wasn't it, for several weeks.
And then we had a very wet spell when we took the footings out, and the footings were about 3 or 4 feet deep in water, which were bailed out by bucket.
Despite the setback, Alan used his experience as a manager at a large chemical company to keep the project bubbling along and saved £40,000 by acting as site manager throughout the 11 months it took to build.
We've developed a very large open plan lounge, nice view onto the rear. In summertime it's all the cherry trees are in full blossom, so it's really beautiful.
It's grand and it's airy and it's just lovely.
We did the ceiling height at 8 foot as well, high in the minimum, to give a feeling of spaciousness. We're just overall delighted with it.
And of course, look at this lovely bathroom. Film star mirror. Lovely deep bath. What do you want?
Building from scratch meant the couple could throw themselves into contemporary design. The floral flourishes and trappings of tradition of their previous house have been replaced by clean lines and minimalism. And being able to watch their dream home take shape from the comfort of their old living room had practical benefits too.
We were very lucky because obviously the plot's just next door to our main house, or part of the garden, and so we could run the electricity cables direct from the old house and the water and everything, so that made it very easy. I used my garden hut as a storage for the tools and the cement and one thing or another. Every morning I would get up at, take the dog for a walk, get back here for about 7:45, get the mixer going for the bricklayers, then spend the whole day with them. And it just really went very well.
And the new house wasn't the only positive thing to come out of their self-build journey.
It was the 1 year, I don't think we had a wrong word, did we?
It went very well, yeah, very well.
Because normally, and this is true, we didn't have a wrong one, and it's brought us together. It changed. No, but it changed our relationship in a different way, didn't it?
Yeah, it made me appreciate Anne's skills and ideas. I think she probably appreciated mine as well.
But we've always worked together, haven't we?
Yeah.
We stood and went, yes, we've done it.
Swapping bulbs and buddleias for a building has made huge financial sense for the Jacksons. Their new home was valued at £650,000, a saving of more than 70% compared to buying a similar ready-built home in the area. By choosing to self-build in their back garden, Alan and Anne have saved a blooming fortune and got their perfect pad too. Back in East Yorkshire, it's the second month of Lance and Michelle Bramley's build. And they're anxiously watching the construction of their home's steelwork base.
It's just that one across there. I'm still worried about that.
Having measured the foundations himself, project manager Lance is now sweating over whether his maths is spot on. A fraction out and the steel base won't fit.
That's good to see.
It's a huge relief. It appears Lance's calculations add up.
It looks as though it fits. We have one success at least.
With one early hurdle successfully cleared, they are already allowing themselves to dream about the finished house.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
A lot wider than I thought.
I know. Room for the kids at last.
It's lovely, can't wait. Looks as though a bit more permanent now, doesn't it? And you can actually think, oh, there's going to be a house on there soon.
But there are lots of bridges to cross before the Bramleys can enjoy this view from their own balcony.
The house will be arriving on the back of a big Arctic, and they've told me that, you know, if it's really windy, the crane can't work so much. 7 to 9 days, up and watertight, and then the roof is coming. So by the end of June, barring the balconies, the outside of the house should look more or less finished. In theory.
A week later, and work on site's moving up a level.
The scaffolding lads are getting on well with the job, it's coming together. I'm up on the scaffolding, about the height of our bedroom balcony. So it just gives you an idea of the sort of view we'll get. I can't wait. It's like we're up in the treetops here.
But despite all the excitement, project managing is starting to take its toll on Lance.
I think one of the biggest problems with self-build is what it does to your sleep pattern. Because even though everything's really gone quite smoothly, I am not sleeping at all well. And when I am sleeping, I'm dreaming about building. Last night I was doing the scaffolding, and then I was in absolute terror because the design was all wrong of the house. But it wasn't the house that we were building, it was a church that we was converting. So I don't really know what's going on there.
Given Lance's new sleeping arrangements, there's no wonder he's having nightmares.
Well, we've borrowed my dad's caravan, and it's the darkest hole you ever want to live in. I can sit in there for 2 hours and feel depressed, but it's handy.
The couple do have a rental home to escape to, but staying on site does have its advantages. It provides extra security for the build, and if you can stand it for the total duration, it could save you thousands of pounds on rent. It's the third month of building, and the Bramley self-build is really about to take shape. It's 7 AM and the team have arrived from Scotland with the timber frame, and building work can properly begin on the house. But while the early start's not an issue for on-site camper Lance, the same can't be said for everyone.
The crane's an hour late, so it's a slow job right down. I'm not happy, not at all happy, especially I rang to confirm the time last week.
And the crane's not the only problem. Lance has just discovered that some of the timber has been left north of the border.
started unloading the wagons, we found out that the load-bearing frames that go in the middle weren't on the wagon. They're still in Scotland. They're getting round it. They're on the way back from Scotland to be delivered this afternoon about 6 o'clock. So crane drivers staying to get them unloaded. So first thing in the morning, they can get things moving, and hopefully we'll get caught up and it'll stop raining.
Not much chance of that. But a spot of rain's not going to stop these determined Scotsmen. Each super-insulated timber panel is precision engineered to fit in a specific location on the foundations. With an experienced crew, a house can come together at lightning speed, whatever the weather.
Ground floor done, barring the internals. Spot on. That's the back door. That's the kitchen, family room. That's the lounge. Out onto the balcony. I have to have a chair there and just looking down. So even in winter, you get a fantastic view.
This is midsummer, but you wouldn't know it.
It's the end of day 2 in the Big Bramley household. It's been absolutely horrendous weather today, and James and the crew have battled through torrential rain, and as you can see, all the roof rafters are on.
And as the workforce push to have the house up and watertight in just 4 days, Lance has washing up water on his mind.
I was putting the kitchen sink against this wall, which is obviously facing plasterboard, but Michelle's insisted that the kitchen sink goes against this wall so she can look out while she's washing the pots. I might even do a bit of washing up myself. And this is the bedroom balcony. When we get up in the morning, out onto here, this is what we'll see. Right up in the treetops, fantastic view. And no doubt we'll be having plenty of breakfast up here first thing. I've built it in my head 1,000 times, but it's exceeded all expectations. And because you could never visualise the views you're going to get without actually being there.
Looking back at the house is also proving quite pleasing to the eye.
I knew it was going up this fast, but I just can't believe it until you actually see it. I must be getting soft in my old age, definitely.
Can't believe it. I get to bed on a night with a big smile. It's lovely.
With Lance focused on project managing the build,
Hi Harry, how's it going?
Michelle's shouldering the burden of running the fishing business on her own.
The general running of the business hasn't gone too bad. I have been stressed. The worst part has been if I've been going back to Lance and he's had a lot on his plate, so I've felt as though I've needed to do something to help him, and then not being able to do anything because I would have to get on with my work here.
But Michelle's role is every bit as important as Lance's efforts on the house. By single-handedly keeping the business going, she's crucially ensuring the couple's finances remain buoyant throughout the 9-month build. It's July and I'm back lakeside to see if all their hard work over the last 4 months is paying off.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. How's he been? Obsessed?
A bit, yeah, he talks about it endlessly. But it's been hard work, but it's going to be lovely when it's finished.
Yeah.
I've been quite stressed because I've been doing this on my own and Lance has been busy, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting there.
I've had the easy bit.
There's no doubting this project is a real labour of love for Lance. From this side of the pond, it certainly looks fabulous. Time I took a closer look.
I just like the way it's floating as well. It just looks great.
With the partition walls in place, it's now possible to visualise how the finished home's going to look.
It's almost a house.
Let's take it here.
And the kitchen diner's definitely a room with a view.
Just imagine, Not so long now, you're just going to be sitting here, chilling out. This is your living room with that view.
Yes, it'll be lovely.
Now, you know what I want to see, don't you? It's got to be the view from the master bedroom, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, come on, come on. Well, I have to say, your house looks fabulous from the other side of the lake, and the view just looks amazing from here.
It is a good view, isn't it?
It's an amazing view.
Just tick all the boxes, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
I am genuinely jealous. Most people would pay a fortune for a home with vistas like these, but halfway through, how are the finances looking for Michelle and Lance?
And are you on budget?
Yeah, well, more or less on budget. Some things have cost a little bit more, some things have cost less, but there's been no nasties.
Despite all the stresses and strains that a project like this entails, it seems it's not just a home that's been built up here over the past 4 months.
Does it give you more confidence, or do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely, Lance. Because you're quite quiet.
Yeah, well, I can sort of like speaking to people now, you know, getting on the phone to somebody, going visiting people. It doesn't faze me now, whereas before it'd be, oh, you'll give me a ring, Shell, you know. And it's definitely improved my confidence, no end.
Definitely.
Oh, there you go. So once he's back in the business, your load will be eased. So from here then, timescales, because you're getting stuck in, you can't be far off now. How many months do you think? How many weeks do you think? Come on. Michelle wants to be in. Let's put him on the spot while I'm here.
Where are we now? I would say 4 months.
You said that?
Yes.
Or 6 months.
No, too late now. We'll take your first answer, thank you very much.
When it comes to building a house, there could be as many as 20 different trades involved to turn it from suitable plot to superb home. I'm at Leeds College of Building to get a crash course in some of these skills, because the more you can do yourself, the more money you can save. Today's lesson will be in the art of plasterboarding.
You're going to obviously take some plasterboards and you're going to fix it to this timber stud wall. Okay?
All right.
From floor level to ceiling height.
That bit doesn't scare me. Okay, so I'm feeling a bit cocky at the moment. It's the stuff, the liquidy stuff you put on afterwards.
Okay, the setting coat. We'll get to that a bit later on, but let's okay, you're saying you're cocky. Let's get over the boarding part first, shall we?
All right then. Okay then.
So, I've got all my school tools and I'm pretty confident of a boarding pass, as long as I get it the right way round.
Ivory side out, ivory side out.
Or I was before Wayne hit me with the plasterer's secret motto.
Always remember, and I mean always remember, one of the most fundamental rules of plasterboarding, always span the joist and stagger your joints. I'll leave you with that, okay?
That's right, yeah, always span the joist and stagger your joints. Right with him there. Clueless. There we go. Okay.
Hopefully all will become clear after I've got this first board fitted.
Okay, just be careful. It's just because it's fairly not square there. Well, again, one thing to remember, Simon, maybe you've gone slightly too far in.
After that cracking start, I'm regretting being so cocky.
So you've got a plasterboard there flapping about. So what I would do is tack it that side, tack it at this side as well, and so on and so forth.
Got you. Okay.
With the board solidly screwed into the stud wall, it looks as though I've worked out what spanning the joists meant. Time to measure up for the next layer. This plasterboarding lark seems fairly straightforward.
So that's 900.
Yeah.
And then I can get a 900 by 1200 board in there.
No, I could see straight away you're making a fundamental mistake there.
Wouldn't be the first time, Wayne. You've guessed it, rather than one on top of the other, I need to stagger the joints. This helps strengthen the wall and reduce the risk of the plaster cracking.
Not so bad, Gov.
That's absolutely perfect.